What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down something very important as we have a massive update from Elon Musk himself that is actually going to be very important from the markets, very important for NIO and everything going forward. So I'm going to talk about what Elon Musk just said that's important for NIO, what's going on with the overall markets, what different analysts are now saying about the markets, and how this may affect the future for NIO and the stock market going forward. Now, before I break anything down though, before I get into any details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, so don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 10 free stocks, each worth up to $2,500. And you can always sell these 10 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. This is a limited time offer. It ends in just one day, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So at the time I'm recording this, NIO is pushing up almost exactly to where I thought it would push up to, and we can see right here NIO is doing quite well. But there is something else I want to talk about when it comes to the grand scheme of things and the overall state of the economy and markets. So let me actually hide all my drawings right now. And let's actually zoom out. So let's close the EMAs for now. Let's actually zoom out of the chart. All right. So looking at NIO, one of the things we'll notice is we did fill the gap down here. We did also fill the gap from 20, but I did think that there were other instances where I saw more gaps. Let me actually pull up the 2-hour chart. Let me zoom a little back. Yeah, so right here, NIO had a gap, and its next major gap would be all the way down here. It has one down here at 13, has another one down here at like 16 flat. So the question is NIO going to continue to downtrend and eventually fill those gaps, or is this thing ready to go to all-time highs? And right now, it still seems like, yeah, eventually we are going to fill these gaps again. And I really believe that that's likely. Now, do we have to fill the one all the way down here? I mean, that's not 100% guaranteed, but it is possible. But this one down here, all the way back down to like the 16 level, I do see that as being very possible to get filled within the next couple of months. But I want to remind everyone about something very important. So the market has been choppy, right? If we look at SPY, we've seen some pretty choppy price action. The SPY is showing lots of signs of improvement. But if you look at SPY, we have a gap down here at 391. We have another one down here, 378. Another one right here, at 382. Another one down here at 367. So do you really believe that the SPY is just never going to fill these gaps? It's just going to continue to rally to all-time highs? In my personal opinion, I don't see it that way. But the one thing I was about to say is the rally of the market, the recovery may come much sooner than people think. So if the SPY in the market does take another hit in the next few months, that could be the last dip before the market starts to rip. And Elon Musk actually spoke out, and he sees inflation potentially trending down based on Tesla's commodity prices. So he believes that inflation has peaked, and PCE just came out a little bit high at 4.8%. But what's essentially happening is we're starting to see a downtrend in inflation. Gas prices are starting to go down. And I really would like to see the downtrend continue for the remainder of the year as we see inflation continue to drop. Now, something that Jerome Powell mentioned was the fact that when it comes to companies and how on earth they're going forward with this, he mentioned the fact that it is possible for demand in our economy to actually drop much faster than some people would have thought. So if demand, especially as we get closer to like Christmas time, demand might start to tumble down, that may actually affect some earnings, which is why it is possible for the market to drop down again. And the one thing we're really missing when it comes to earnings is a drop in EPS. And that's typically what causes the second leg of a downturn during some sort of recession. Because if you look at the chart right here, we were in this state right here. Maybe we get somewhat of a recovery, but there could be another moment, maybe like one more moment where we start to drop. And what could end up happening is we actually get a sideways market. So what I theorize might happen is this. See the gray line right here? I know it's a little bit hard to kind of see all of these lines together, but look at the gray line. I think the market's going to push up and that's where we are right now. It's going to come back down, but it might not go much lower from where the bottom is. I think the true bottom of the market is not that far from the lows we saw. So once the gaps get filled, then the market's probably going to see a big recovery. If I look at SPY, let me look at like the monthly candles and like zoom out as far as I could go. During these downturns, there were moments, kind of like this one, where the market was just trading flat for like a year or so, right? And this often happened when inflation was high, the interest rates went up, so demand ended up slowing down in our economies, and we hit a state of economic stagflation. So what could happen is we might see a market that's kind of like this, and we may be entering this state right now, where the market starts to drop maybe one more time, it trades sideways for a couple of months, and then slowly we see a big recovery. And the recovery might happen much sooner than some people think. Some analysts out there, like Tom Lee, are saying that they think the bear market is over. Stocks can hit all-time highs before the year ends. I mean, that's possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but in my personal opinion, I think this is a little bit early. I think it's going to take a little bit longer for us to hit all-time highs. But as far as recovery goes for this recession, we may be in a growth style recession. This means that growth is slowing down, but it's still continuing despite what we're seeing. So, what I like is what Elon Musk said. If inflation is starting to come down, it's starting to kind of like downtrend. If we just saw the peak in June, that's going to be great for the markets. And then the markets are so future looking, they may not even like drop as hard as some people may think. Maybe the bottom is already found for SPY. Maybe what's going to happen is this. Maybe the SPY kind of like it comes down. Excuse me. It comes down to these levels again in the future, and then it trades sideways for a few months before this thing continues to rally, and then we break all-time highs again. Now these gaps are really low down there. Some people believe that they may never get filled. I mean, I don't know about that. My honest opinion is we've seen the gaps get filled plenty of times, and I think it's very likely at least two of them or three of them will get filled again. So I do see the SPY coming down again. But other than that, like I told you guys before, all right, I do think that we could come down, right? Maybe during the month of September or something. By the time we get to like the end of the year, the market's probably going to start to rally, and it may even hit all-time highs way sooner than a lot of people were thinking. We might fully make the stock market recover by, I don't know, maybe by as early as Q1, maybe of next year. Maybe it could happen much sooner if we do see inflation start to kind of tumble down, because the market is very forward looking and this could be very good. So, based off what Elon Musk was saying, what does this mean for NIO? What this means for NIO is this, just plain and simple. NIO could come down again, especially considering what's going on in China. We're seeing, big issues with the developers of real estate and other economic problems, but it doesn't matter as much for the long term for NIO, because I believe NIO is going to prevail. So NIO is likely going to come back down at least to fill this gap. I can't guarantee this gap will get filled, because gaps don't always get filled, but they tend to, and they almost always do, but not, I mean, it's not always, but it's almost always. Let me put it that way. So with that said, NIO is probably going to come down again, right? Maybe to 16s, maybe the 15s again. Eventually, I do see that coming maybe by the time we get to September, October. But unless NIO drops lower and fills the gap way down here, I don't truly know if that will happen. I see a fast recovery. Like, it's going to happen so fast, guys. It's going to be crazy. And I think the market's going to trade sideways for a few months and then start pushing up. By the time we get to like maybe December, it's going to start rallying, in my opinion. By next year, early next year, I wouldn't be surprised if the market is actually starting to push up and we start to see all-time highs again in the markets. So for NIO, what does this mean? NIO is probably going to make the comeback of a lifetime, huge comeback by the time we get closer to the end of the year, maybe even going into NIO Day of next year, which is generally in the Januaries of 2023. So I really believe a big comeback is going to come. It could also be in, December. I think it was in December recently, but it doesn't matter. I think NIO is going to make a big comeback soon, and I think it may happen sooner than some people think. Some people thought that the market would not recover until like mid 2023 or 2024. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think it's going to start recovering much sooner. And I also believe that we're going to see all-time highs come back, maybe early into 2023. It's going to happen soon. So just sit tight, be ready, and just remember, fundamentally, NIO is still strong. The markets are improving, in my opinion. And I also think that this is kind of like a trap because right now I don't think we're in the full on recovery just yet. I think there is some room for downside. But like I said before, I do still see a quick recovery coming within the next couple of months. And I do see all time highs sometime early next year. With that said, if you look at NIO, I mean, it's still a very strong company. They have a beautiful ES7. Their SUVs are amazing. And based off what Musk is saying, inflation is most likely going to start coming down now. That's going to be a big improvement for NIO. I really, really see good things to come. With that said and done, I mean, maybe a catalyst is going to cause the market to take a hit again by maybe September in the next few weeks. I don't truly know what that catalyst will be because the market is so unpredictable. But the long-term future, it's still bright. All right, I still see a fast recovery. So get ready. This is why we buy the dips because we know in a snap. It's going to happen so fast. So be ready. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day. I hope you guys enjoy your weekends. I hope I provided some value for you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon because the long term future is bright. And peace out.